If you don't know me, like I said, I'm Heikki. Hi, everyone. I work at this company called WithSecure. I'm a security consultant there, and not like Juho said, we are actually with secure and not without. And also, I've been volunteering at this Kyber which is a community response team. And I always want to put this one here, that we actually won the LähiTapiola Hack Day last time, unlike some of you who were there. And for no obvious reasons, if you are into keyboards, go and check out my website. And a little bit more about the Kyber. Like I said, we are a community cyber response force. We try to help NGOs and NPOs, non-profit organizations, and we are a group of amazing people who are. Yeah, you can see familiar faces. There are a couple of faces who are not in the picture because they haven't decided to update their profile in there, and I also have my old company there, so who am I to blame? But we also were the InfoSec influencer of the last year, according to Tietoturva ry, and I got a little bit of a special mention there about the work that I've done for the Vastaamo victims. And go ahead and check out our Twitter and website as well. But yeah, about this talk. So a little disclaimer that I am actually not a victim of Vastaamo, and I am not an incident responder, thank God, and not a psychologist. So that's important to keep in mind. I'm just a security consultant who has no idea what kind of a big slice of this cake I've gotten into. And this is not a scientific research. This is important. These are my own opinions, and some of these experiences and things have happened in Yodel, so there's a slight chance that it's been one of you who I've been messaging with for 1.5 years. I have no idea of knowing. But yeah, you are allowed to criticize the academic integrity of this presentation, and I please hope that you do. But let's get into the talks about the scope. And this time we're going to talk about two things that are really hard for a consultant. We're going to talk about people, and we're going to talk about feelings. These are really, really hard for us. And I think that we haven't talked about people or feelings that much here. So, like I said, I'm a security consultant, and every time we see a vulnerability happening on, and there's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the screens, like what's happening for the people and how they are reacting. For example, let's take this InfoSec Twitter. So there's this cool picture of a crazy hacker programmer, demon-possessed hacking hacker. This is a hacker stock photo that I really love to use, and it's the actual portrait of the picture. And you see the Twitter going on that every time you see a new vulnerability, what a stupid vulnerability, they got what they deserved when they were hacked, and this could have been avoided so easily. They might be true, but every time the Twitter goes off and says all those stuff, then there are a lot of people who it's affecting actually. So it's really easy to be a third party who has nothing to do with that, to just start criticizing everything that they've done up to this point. But there are so many people that it's affecting, and these people are asking really big questions, like, do I lose my job because of this breach, or will this affect my career, and all these things. And these are really big questions because you have to start thinking about how you will have the money to buy the groceries, do you still have money for gas, and how your kids are doing and everything. And the tough thing about this is that the real answer to this is maybe, because you never know. Like, well, I like to talk about Vastaamo quite a lot. Like, it was a successful company, and then it went, they just stopped doing what they were doing because of this one big breach that happened. And because of this, I want to talk about this perspective, like an InfoSec specialist versus an average person. Like, for example, when we are talking about threat model. Yeah, I know I'm a consultant, I use this cool word. But about the sense of security as well. Like, there's the InfoSec specialist, like, who is doing due diligence, risk acceptance, and everything. But they still know that the modern society is actually running on legacy hardware, but they're still able to sleep at night, at least some of you. And, well, whereas the average person, like, information security is not that high of a priority about their sense of security at all. And usually everything is okay until it isn't. Like for example, the data breaches. We saw the Facebook data breach going on I can't really remember when this was, but there was 553 million Facebook users whose information got leaked, and there were lots of phone numbers, Facebook IDs, full names, locations, birthdays, bios, and emails, and some of those even got this cool message that this usually brings a lot of feelings into the case. But for the InfoSec specialist, he or she, they analyze the impact, they do the needful, probably change the password or something, and they accept the risk. They know that their email is everywhere already, and they're just calm. They're really fine with all this. Unlike the average person, like all the possible worst case scenarios, like all the pictures that I made public are still public, and that sounds horrible for every one of us. But there was this thread going on in Yodel that people were asking me quite a lot that their Facebook data was leaked. And what do I recommend that they do? Well, it's a tough question, but there were lots of more specific questions as well. Like, is it possible someday that, for example, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram messages get leaked? And so that a normal user couldn't do anything about it. And yet again, the answer is maybe. There's no, like, I am not allowed legally to say that it won't happen ever, but it's unlikely, so we go with the answer maybe again. And then there's, like, can you even trust WhatsApp at this point? Because Facebook got this data breach at one point. And is it possible that hackers could get access to deleted messages? And again, the answer is maybe, because you don't have any idea of knowing, because Facebook and all those big companies don't like to share this information that much. But when, again, we are thinking about data breaches, and we are starting to help these people, we start to think about the impact, that there are going to be a lot more automated attacks, phishing campaigns like this dog with empty bowl, or password spraying, and targeted attacks are not likely. There's probably nobody going after you, like personally. Like, you were one in 553 million people, and it's really unlikely that you are their only target at this point. But yet again, does this really help? Like, giving this information to a victim of a data breach, does it really help? Well, this was a really eye-opening message from a Vastaamo victim, that they're worried that every time they meet someone new or someone that they don't know, it's that if the new person knows his or their old patient records and everything that was leaked already, it was really devastating to see this, and they are not even going to therapy to get help with this. And what we can do is try to help them get their sense of security back, and it's not easy. And when you go and see the news about where this is going, because this is still happening, all those information is still on the website and in the dark web and everywhere, and then you see these things pop up. This is by Marko Leponen from Police. I wrote this blog post about a new worrying phenomenon where criminals are actually targeting victims of Vastaamo data leak with cowardly crimes. And most of these cowardly crimes were about the social security number and how it's used wrongly. There's been so much discussion about Finnish social security number or henkilötunnus in the past, and it's still so absurd that we have done basically nothing for it. It's still not good for anything else than just identifying a person, but not authorizing or authenticating, never that. But when it comes to the credit card companies, or credit companies, they are just like, is it for me? So that's why lots of these things happen. And when your social security number leaks, this is the InfoSec specialist in me talking, that of course I'm nervous, but still I might look calm and ready. You probably know where this is going. The average person, well, they are no idea what you're talking about. So, but then you go back and see these messages popping up that could the Vastaamo victims already get the new social security numbers. and whatever is taking so long to get them, because you need heavy reasons for getting a new one, and it's still very, very wrongly used, and it's highly inconvenient to get a new one. All the systems and everything, all the legacy systems that I was talking about, they will probably just crash because somebody has new SSN. And it still does not solve the issue of social security numbers. And then I get into these situations where you know you're going to get your money's worth when the consultant starts drawing stick figures. So there's this situation that my SSN got leaked. What do I do? And I am confident about myself, and I'm just saying, like I told you, it's constantly used wrong. Getting a new one does not remove the fundamental problem of they're using wrong. And then, being a consultant, I deliver them this really professional-looking report where there's the social security number is used wrongly. And it's not a strong authentication method. And then I go and see the face of this person that I've been helping. And I might hear them saying something like this. And adding this. It wasn't helpful. And well, you probably got the answer out of this already, that this is actually not a good advice. And nobody likes this dude, this Captain Hindsight, who always likes to tell in hindsight how things should have been and how they actually were, and it's not really helpful. But a good advice would be this really cool suomi.fi guide about data leaks. It's not about a guide about how to do data leaks, but how do you recover from that, unlike their name. But this is something that Kyberverkko has actually been helping to come up with this guide, and it's really cool, it's really simple to use, and I recommend going through it even if you haven't been a victim of data breach, because then you can help someone who has been. It's really good, it's really good. But again, what do I do now? Nobody knows. I have no idea. I came and gave this talk. But should I change my phone number? These are questions that I've actually gotten about Vastaama, because all this information is already out there. And like, it's a really big deal to start using a new phone number. You have to update your old numbers and everything. Or the new email, you're gonna have to change your authentication emails, and some systems don't even support that. Or moving to a new apartment, or changing my name. I actually got one message that one of the data breach victims was really, really glad that he or she got married, because now they have a new last name. And well, that's true that it's arguable that does this make you more resilient against targeted attacks. But automated attacks, this invalidate some of your old data. It might be useful or even pretty cool to do all these things, but they are a hassle. But the question is actually that does it make you feel safer? This is a big question, because some of those victims don't know how to sleep at night. But if they move to a new apartment knowing that their old address in the data leak will be a lot more invalid, that will probably make them feel safer. And if somebody is actually willing to go through the distance and move to a new apartment, I'm gonna just say that, yeah, do it. Like, there's no reason if it really helps you mentally, just go for it. There's no really good reason. But I have no idea how I talked so fast. I'm really nervous here. So actually my slides are coming to an end. I'm sorry. So okay, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. But oh yeah. Juho knows how funny I am, so he really wants to see my stand-up gig. But yeah, I still got something for you. If someone asks for your help, don't panic. Yeah, some of those, Joni was laughing, I saw. But anyways, you have to listen, and then you have to think. Those are really hard things to do. And then you can discuss with them. Like, they're coming for you. They're worried about something. If you can say anything that helps ease their mind, just go for it. And later on, check up on them. Because usually these things don't go past during a week or something. Like the Vastaama breach, it happened quite a far time ago, and we basically completely forgotten about it because all the situations that's been happening in the world currently. But the biggest thing is that don't be the crazy hacker program demon-possessed person that I showed you before. But I'd really love you to be the person that Eetu thinks you are. And I've talked with him, and he said that you're pretty cool. But yeah, I'm sorry, this was really short one this time. HelSec was a lot longer, but thanks. Yeah. No.